Honestly, it's just the way things played out, the cards that were at hand.
You know, that has to stop. That has to stop. You know, in this planet, this world, that's why we have this.
Teofimo Lopez drops explosive audio revealing Terence Crawford and the referee in a secretive discussion, allegedly plotting to tilt the fight for Shakur. His not holding back, pushing the most shocking conspiracy buzzing through boxing circles. Lopez claims it wasn't casual chatter, it was a deliberate scheme to hand Shakur the upper hand. This isn't just anger after a loss. Teo is throwing the sport's biggest names under the spotlight, accusing them of manipulating outcomes from within the ring. The implication is seismic, a scandal that could shake faith in boxing itself, turning what fans thought was a fair fight into a calculated play of power and betrayal, leaving the sport's integrity hanging by a thread. Teofimo Lopez strikes back with fire, insisting he controlled the fight with ruthless body shots and lightning-fast combinations, each punch landing with precision. He portrays himself as the architect of the battle, only to be robbed by what he claims were suspicious calls and hidden interference inside the ring. Lopez spins this as for more than a simple defeat, his hinting at a web of manipulation, suggesting that every successful strike he landed was quietly undermined by officials and maybe even Shakur's team. Their message is clear, his mastery was real, but the outcome was twisted, a carefully engineered denial that leaves fans questioning who truly held the power when the gloves came off.
I was catching him a lot with the body shots a lot, so I think that was one of my effective arsenals that was getting him every time. But I think just more combinations, especially finish.
Teofimo Lopez Sr. went on the attack, unleashing a blistering tirade against the refereeing, accusing them of clear bias and hinting at a calculated effort to shut him down. He paints his son's performance as commanding, only to be sabotaged by officials who, in his eyes, betrayed the sport itself. This isn't mere parental defense, it's a lightning rod accusation that the very framework of boxing may have conspired to deny Teofimo his due. Every word drips with outrage, amplifying the scandal swirling around Shakur Stevenson's victory, turning what was a contested fight into a storm of suspicion, manipulation, and raw, combustible controversy.
Two referees were looking at, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta beat the champ to be the champ, you know, and my son hurt.
Eddie Hearn's response slices right through the madness surrounding the Lopez camp, spotlighting the chaos and volatility that Teofimo Sr. brings to every moment. He admits keeping him in check is nearly impossible, a testament to the storm swirling off the canvas. The tension isn't confined to punches or rounds, it leaks into every statement, every maneuver, turning the controversy into a spectacle as sharp and unpredictable as any fight. Teofimo Sr.'s audacity fans the flames, transforming this saga into a twisted drama where accusations, chaos, and raw emotion collide, making the story as much about theater and power plays as it is about the sport itself.
That's what people were saying to me. Oh, is there a script? Oh, you're going to take...
JL Shannon lays bare Teofimo's brutal struggle inside the ring, revealing a fighter trapped in a relentless storm. He wasn't merely facing Shakur Stevenson, he was juggling survival, constantly measuring distance, dodging peril, and trying to shake off punishing shots. Every moment was a tense chess match of attack and defense, a fighter teetering on the edge as Shakur's pressure closed in like a vice. The commentary exposes the suffocating reality, no matter how hard Teofimo fought, Shakur left him scarcely a second to breathe, underscoring a tactical dominance so precise it turned every exchange into a calculated, merciless display of control.
He was running away, he was trying to get distance. Then he was trying to step in to win this athletic competition, and then he's trying to get out of the way so that he doesn't get hurt again. I mean, he was fighting. Then it turns to where he can't stay away anymore. So
Eddie Hearn's take exposes the raw unpredictability of Teofimo Lopez Sr., a man who thrives beyond boxing's usual rules, turning every corner into a powder keg of tension. His presence is a storm, impossible to rein in, with outbursts that often eclipse the fighter's own battles. Each moment teeters on chaos, keeping media, fans, and promoters alike on edge, unsure what will ignite next. This volatility transforms every fight into a dual spectacle, brutal action inside the ropes and explosive drama outside, where control is an illusion and every second crackles with anticipation.
It's a bit wild, to be honest with you. I don't like that stuff, if I'm honest, but Teofimo's Teofimo. You could never control him. You
you can never predict what he's going to do or say.
Duke McKenzie goes in hard, and is brutally accurate. Teofimo Lopez looked utterly overwhelmed against Shakur Stevenson, like a sailor lost in a storm. This wasn't a mere off night, it was a stark mismatch for all to see. Every swing, every step, every punch lacked the sharpness needed at this tier, exposing the limits of raw talent when faced with elite precision. The contrast couldn't be starker, one man operating at peak mastery, the other scrambling just to survive, making the gap between them painfully, unmistakably clear.
Said, and everybody knows he's not a real boxer. There's levels to this game, and he was way out of his level.
Aolipo spells it out without hesitation. Shakur Stevenson didn't just claim victory, he obliterated the fight. Teofimo Lopez, with all his size and power, appeared powerless as Shakur dictated every inch of the ring. Whether pressing forward or retreating, Teo was cornered, his strikes transparent and effortlessly intercepted. Every overreach was met with punishing precision, Shakur's combinations slicing through openings and single, sharp shots breaking rhythm. What many expected to be a competitive clash instead became a clinic in dominance, each round a vivid demonstration of tactical mastery and merciless control.
Strong guy, and Shakur just bullied him. Outboxed him on the back foot, outboxed him on the front foot. Every time Teo came in and kind of tricked himself, going over his front foot, the punches and bunches and just the single shots were just beautiful.
Teofimo Lopez looked utterly adrift against Shakur Stevenson's brilliance. As the Wade concept highlighted, he couldn't breach Shakur's lead hand. Every jab smothered his momentum before it could build. Every effort to cut off the ring or target Stevenson's outside foot collapsed under precision timing. Instead of crafting angles, Lopez repeatedly walked into Shakur's traps, falling prey to counters again and again. This was more than a tactical loss, it was a positional nightmare. Stevenson's mastery of space, timing, and movement rendered Teo's punches futile, transforming what should have been a strategic southpaw duel into a one-sided exhibition of surgical technical dominance.
He was having real trouble getting to Shakur Stevenson. He could not get past the lead hand. The jab was stifling him. He was having trouble cutting the ring. He was having trouble getting to the outside foot. This was an orthodox southpaw matchup where Teofimo needed to step to his left to try to push the lead hand away or at least get head off center line if he wanted to throw his right hand. Instead, he was doing the opposite, and Shakur was taking the outside track. Teo was stepping on the inside lane and then fading to his right side, right into the left hand of Shakur Stevenson, which, by the way, in the first round, Shakur didn't really even throw a backhand. It was
Clarissa Shield nails it. Shakur Stevenson was a surgical force inside the ring. From the first bell, his body and head jab set the tempo, controlling every clash with cold precision. Even blood couldn't faze him, he stayed measured, ruthless, and unyielding. Lopez, despite his hype and power, never gained a foothold, unable to establish any rhythm. Shakur's blend of athleticism and technical genius made every strike appear effortless, every combination perfectly timed. This went beyond victory, it was a declaration, a showcase of why he stands as one of boxing's smartest, most complete fighters, leaving no doubt that mastery and intelligence can dominate raw strength every time.
No boxing. and like I told y'all, we was gonna see a little bit of athleticism, but we was gonna see Shakur be using his jab, going to the body. And we saw blood today. Shakur did great today. Only thing I can ask for is stoppage. I can't ask for.
Daniel Jacobs delivered a stark reality check to Teofimo Lopez. Courage alone can't topple a superior boxer. Lopez had to throw everything into the fight, yet even that couldn't close the chasm in skill and ring intelligence. Against Stevenson, brute force wasn't enough, it was a battle of minds against a master tactician. Every attempt to match pace or land heavy shots was met with seamless counters, exposing the unforgiving truth of elite boxing. This clip lays bare the reality: raw talent and precision, when wielded by a fighter of Shakur's caliber, will always eclipse aggression, leaving opponents scrambling against a strategist several moves ahead.
Oh, for Teofimo. Hey yo, sometimes you just gotta grab your nuts and you just gotta put balls to the wall, unfortunately. But that's just what it is. And sometimes when you think you can keep up with a boxer that's superior.
Bullmack hits it squarely. Shakur Stevenson's boxing IQ is nothing short of elite. Every step, feint, and combination is executed with surgical precision. Once his plan is set, he carries it out flawlessly, leaving opponents like Teofimo Lopez floundering and exposed. Figuring out how to beat him feels almost impossible, any attempt is likely to be dismantled. Stevenson's ring intelligence is as lethal as his speed and power. This wasn't chance, it was calculated mastery. Against a fighter of this caliber, hesitation, floored angles, or predictable moves are deadly, and Lopez felt that reality in every punishing second of the fight.
Shakur just got a great boxing mind. That's just it. He's got a great boxing mind, and once he put his mind to it, he's gonna get the job done.
What is it gonna take to beat someone like him?
I don't know, Brian. Probably want to stay away from that kid.
Bruce Carrington didn't mince words, and he had every reason not to. Teofimo Lopez appeared utterly helpless from the opening bell. Bruce exposes it all. Teo's repeated errors surrendered control of the ring inch by inch. Doubling his right hand, turning square, switching southpaw at the worst possible moments, each misstep fed straight into Shakur Stevenson's deadly counters. This wasn't merely a defeat, it was a masterclass in positional failure. Stevenson's reflexes, footwork, and precision made Lopez look like a rookie tangled with a grandmaster of the sport. The bout was so lopsided that easy night doesn't even scratch the surface. Any hope Lopez had of leaning on aggression or raw power was immediately dismantled. Shakur had anticipated, neutralized, and exploited every single plan before it even formed.
Man, he made it easy. I was saying, if Teo was to fight more on a back foot and throw punches when Shakur throws, that's the only time you're going to get Shakur. But Teo, he has a habit of getting out of position all the time. He'll double up his right hand, turn square, or turn southpaw. That's not gonna work, bro. You're not gonna take up enough space to touch Shakur. And Shakur's reflexes and his countering was just keeping Teo at bay. It was an easy night from round one for him. Shakur got the dub.
Daniel Jacobs delivers a harsh but undeniable verdict. Teofimo Lopez wasn't merely outboxed, he was outclassed. Even casual observers could see it. Shakur Stevenson's mastery was absolute. Every jab, every feint, every subtle shift was calculated to expose Lopez's flaws. Raw grit and courage couldn't compete with talent, timing, and surgical precision. This wasn't a test of toughness, it was a demonstration of skill, and Stevenson's execution made Lopez appear like an amateur in a masterclass. Jacobs emphasizes the stark contrast in abilities, the skill gap was night and day. Lopez's inability to adapt, paired with Shakur's flawless ring intelligence, turned the fight into a total mismatch. By the final bell, it was unmistakably clear, Lopez isn't prepared for this caliber of competition, while Stevenson cemented his status as one of boxing's smartest and most formidable fighters today.
Teofimo is my guy, but I've always been a fan of Shakur, and I think that Shakur put on a clinic tonight. Least amount of risk, been able to put his skill set into fruition all night. The jab was leading. You can tell the difference in skill set, and that was the difference to me that made the fight. It wasn't about grit, it wasn't about heart, it was about sheer talent, and Shakur displayed that.
The Wade concept lays bare Teofimo Lopez's nightmare in stark detail. He had no answers for Shakur Stevenson's relentless precision and fluid movement. Lopez couldn't breach the jab, couldn't cut off the ring, and failed to reach Stevenson's outside foot, the most basic positional fundamentals crumbling under pressure. Instead of creating angles or moving correctly, he repeatedly stumbled into Shakur's traps, fading into counters and committing every conceivable error in an orthodox southpaw duel. It was textbook exploitation of flawed fundamentals. Stevenson's outside track movement was surgical, capitalizing on each misstep with ruthless efficiency. Lopez's inability to adapt, combined with Shakur's technical mastery, made it painfully clear that the fight was effectively decided before it even began. Watching Lopez flounder against a fighter of Stevenson's caliber exposes a glaring gap in his capacity to compete at the elite level, while simultaneously reaffirming why Shakur remains firmly entrenched among boxing's absolute top tier today.
He was having real trouble getting to Shakur Stevenson. He could not get past the lead hand. The jab was stifling him. He was having trouble cutting the ring. He was having trouble getting to the outside foot. This was an orthodox southpaw matchup where Teofimo needed to step to his left to try to push the lead hand away or at least get head off center line if he wanted to throw his right hand. Instead, he was doing the opposite, and Shakur...
Dion Haney's observation lands like a punch. Something about Teofimo Lopez felt completely off even before the fight, and it manifested brutally inside the ring. His focus was scattered, preparation lacking, overshadowed by pre-fight chatter instead of confronting the reality of facing Shakur Stevenson. This wasn't a simple lapse in timing or strategy, it was sheer negligence against a fighter who punishes every error. Mental unpreparedness proved fatal. Lopez's scattered concentration allowed Shakur to seize control, dictating the pace, landing counters, and maneuvering with surgical precision. Physical strength alone couldn't bridge the gap left by his absent focus. Haney's critique is unmistakable. Lopez's defeat wasn't accidental. It was the inevitable result of underestimating a disciplined, brilliant opponent, stepping into the ring unready, and facing one of the smartest, most precise fighters in boxing today.
What did you make of it?
At the end of the day, if you look at interviews before the fight, I was saying that, something looked off about him. He looked like he just wasn't really focused on the fight. He said my name before the fight more than he even said.
Bruce Carrington doesn't hold back, making it brutally obvious. Shakur Stevenson made Teofimo Lopez look like an amateur from the very first bell. Stevenson's reflexes and counters dismantled every attack Lopez threw, leaving no room for a competitive fight. This was pure domination, a masterclass in precision and control, with Lopez failing to land anything meaningful. Every step forward was anticipated, every punch met with perfect timing. Stevenson's command of the ring and uncanny ability to read his opponent transformed the bout into a one-sided display of skill against inefficiency. This performance confirmed what many already suspected. Lopez, despite his hype, isn't prepared to face elite, technically gifted fighters. Stevenson's flawless execution made it clear the fight was over long before Lopez even realized what hit him, a stark reminder that sheer heart can never outmatch precision, timing, and intelligence inside the ropes.
Man, Shakur looked phenomenal, dominant performance. What'd you think about that?
Man, he made it easy. I was saying, if T.O. was to fight more on a back foot and throw punches when Shakur throws, that's the only time you're going to get Shakur. But T.O., he has a habit of getting out of position all the time. He'll double up his right hand, turn square, or turn southpaw. That's not gonna work, bro. You're not gonna take up enough space to touch Shakur. And Shakur's reflexes and his countering was just keeping T.O. at bay. It was an easy night from round one for him. Shakur got the dub.
Keishan Davis captures the backstage shot perfectly. Teofimo Lopez was dismantled with alarming ease. The fight wasn't even close. Stevenson's control was so absolute that Lopez resembled more a punching bag than a competitor. Keishan underscores the surreal spectacle. Even the most die-hard supporters couldn't fathom how effortlessly Stevenson executed every aspect of his plan. Lopez's repeated positional mistakes and inability to adapt left him completely exposed, allowing Stevenson to pick him apart at will. The fact that Stevenson was already calling out future opponents while dominating the ring only highlighted the chasm in skill and preparation. Lopez's defeat serves as a cautionary tale. Without ring IQ, discipline, and adaptability, raw aggression is meaningless against a fighter of Stevenson's caliber. This wasn't merely a win, it was a merciless declaration of the gulf between hype and genuine elite boxing mastery.
I'm just going crazy, he beat him up, it's easy work, he's beating T.O. up, it's not even a close fight, what I'm saying? So, I was just happy for him, super happy for him.
Man, he called out Conor Ben. You guys both trying to maybe co-main and main event in the UK with all these UK guys?
Hey man, how big this event was, bro, I ain't tripping, let's do it.
After watching Teofimo Lopez get utterly outclassed, one thing is crystal clear. Shakur Stevenson isn't just a fighter, he's a chess master inside the ring. Lopez's size, strength, and aggression counted for nothing against Stevenson's flawless precision, timing, and cerebral approach. Every misstep, every lapse was punished, leaving Lopez exposed and disoriented, unable to find footing. This wasn't a close contest, it was a declaration. Talent, discipline, and ring IQ always prevail. Anyone hoping Teofimo can rebound from this will have to think twice. Stevenson didn't just win, he set a new benchmark at 140 pounds, leaving a harsh reminder of the gap between hype and true mastery. Drop your thoughts below. Can Lopez ever truly come back from a performance like this?